Hi everyone, this is Chuck McLennan. Welcome to another Buick Knowhow. This month we'll spotlight the 1995 Roadmaster. We've been invited to hear from the largest group of Roadmaster experts around, the men and women who build them here in Arlington, Texas.
Hi, Chuck. On behalf of everyone here, I'd like to welcome you to the Arlington Assembly Plant. Welcome to Texas.
Well, thanks very much. This is just an incredible facility. It's huge. So where are we standing right now? Is this the final assembly area?
Chuck, this is the final quality checkpoint. If we find anything wrong with the car, we'll spot it here and take care of it. We want these cars to be as problem-free as we can possibly make them. The initial customer surveys we get back tell us that Roadmaster is doing better than ever in 1995. These surveys tell us we're doing the right things here, but there's a lot more to our story. It takes hundreds of steps to build Roadmasters. Every operation has to be within the intended design specification. We rely on everyone's eye for detail to help make sure each 1995 Roadmaster is a high-quality product. We've made some great strides in quality, and it's really paying off for us in 1995. This plant is working hard to produce a quality product.
Well, you have to be happy about that. Max, I can't thank you enough for allowing us into this facility.
My pleasure, Chuck.
Thanks. I'd like to begin by introducing Ron Halcomb. Ron is a wind noise engineering specialist. Hi, Ron.
Hi, Chuck. It's good to have you here in the plant. We've got a lot of things we'd like to show you today, so I guess we ought to get right to it.
Good, let's do it.
About 2 years ago, we developed a static wind noise check for our vehicles. A static check is a visual inspection on a stationary vehicle that concentrates on key characteristics known to impact wind noise or wind rush. Our static checks have been correlated with data collected from actual wind tunnel tests. After incorporating the tunnel data, we know which assembly operations are most likely to generate customer complaints. These critical operations are monitored and results are presented to the plant on a daily basis. We then determine what kind of corrective action is needed. I'd like to begin with a brief explanation of terms because some people may not know the difference between wind noise and wind rush. There are two types of wind conditions, wind rush and wind noise. Wind rush is an external condition. It's the sound of outside air racing and bending around the exterior surface of a car in motion. The sound of wind rush increases as it deflects around a side view mirror protruding from the smooth silhouette of a vehicle. A misaligned body panel can also cause wind rush. While some wind rush is correctable, a certain degree of it is normal. Wind noise is an internal condition caused by unequal air pressure. The outside air rushing past the car creates a vacuum or area of low pressure. However, because air continually enters the passenger compartment through heating and air conditioning ducts, a high interior air pressure exists. This high pressure exists whenever the blower is on. The high pressure air seeks equalization by escaping to the low pressure area just outside the car. Normally the escape routes are through the pressure relief valves and the door jambs. However, if this interior air also escapes through faulty seals, wind noise results. It typically has a telltale, high-pitched whistling sound. As a general rule in wind noise diagnosis, and this is important, after evaluating the owner's primary complaint and correcting that area, You should also listen for any secondary conditions that may only become noticeable after the primary condition has been eliminated. By treating these secondary conditions, you can spare your customer the aggravation of returning with a wind noise problem. At this point, I'd like to introduce you to John Richardson and Kenny Kirkland. Both are wind noise technicians here in Arlington and often work with dealerships on customer complaint vehicles. John and Ken will now step you through the static audit items and will offer other helpful tips. John, how about starting us with the windshield upper reveal molding?
No problem, Ron. What you need to look for is continuous contact between the sealing lips of the upper windshield reveal molding and the glass in front, and also to the roof at the rear. Any gap in this area creates a great deal of wind rush. This is one area that has been under control for some time. You shouldn't see many 94 or 95 Roadmasters with this problem, but if you do, this is how to take care of it. First, check for proper alignment at the upper windshield reveal molding to the roof and the glass. The molding must lie flush to both the roof and the windshield. If you have a gap at the windshield upper reveal to the roof that is less than 2 millimeters, loosen and partially remove both the right and left auxiliary weather strips. Tape off both the upper reveal moldings and the roof panel to prevent excess accumulation of sealer. Next, carefully backfill the gap with RTV sealant. Clean any excess with sealant remover. If the gap is more than 2 millimeters, remove the side reveal moldings. Grasp the end of the upper windshield reveal molding. Rotate it gently forward while pulling it from its cavity. If you damage this molding while removing it, you will need a new molding. You will need to trim the lower lip off the molding to install it without removing the glass. Next, dry fit the molding. Make sure it lies flush to the roof and the windshield without gaps. Remove the molding and clear out any leftover adhesive that may interfere with installation. Apply urethane, filling the cavity to the lower edge of the windshield. Finally, install the molding. Use masking tape to secure it to the roof overnight for proper curing. This procedure holds the molding in place while the urethane cures. The next morning, remove the tape and clean off any excess adhesive from the glass, molding, or roof. If the upper windshield reveal molding has a more extreme gap, check the position of the glass in the opening. It may be necessary to remove and reinstall the glass to eliminate the gap and quiet the area. The next area we need to talk about is the A-pillar windshield reveal moldings. Ken, would you take this one?
Okay, John, the A-pillar windshield reveal molding can cause wind rush if it gaps to the windshield glass or if it fails to make good contact to the door header. To eliminate wind rush, there must be continuous contact along the entire length of the A-pillar between the windshield side reveal molding and the door header on the outboard side. You also need to look for continuous contact between the molding and the glass on the inboard side. A 2 millimeter gap near the base of the A-pillar is acceptable as long as it's 50 millimeters or less in length. If a gap exists between the A-pillar side reveal molding and the glass, remove the molding and hold it flush to the glass. This will show you how much the screw holes in the molding frame will have to be modified to properly position the molding flush to the glass. Use a rat tail file to slot the screw holes as needed. Use RTV thumb grade or an equivalent sealant to close off the underside of the molding to prevent air turbulence under the molding. After performing this procedure, reinstall the molding and make sure the gapping condition has been eliminated. Check the opposite side of the car and repeat this procedure as required. Use thumb grade sealer to fill any gap between the top of the windshield side reveal molding and the windshield upper reveal molding. Remember, when reinstalling the auxiliary weather strip, make sure that the rubber is positioned